Now on 4 News Now at 6, the state of women and girls in Spokane, from childcare to a rise in suicidal thoughts among teens. We're doing a deep dive on the biggest issues women and girls are facing and what's being done to help.
We have more sunny spring weather on the way. I'll let you know if it will last through Memorial Day weekend in your First Alert forecast.
And an urgent message from the Surgeon General about your child's use of social media. What he says needs to be done to protect your child's mental health. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
27% of women struggled with their mental health. 29% of teenage girls seriously considered suicide. Half of all young women describe their housing situation as unstable. Startling numbers from a new report just released, and all of those women and girls are in Spokane County. Good evening, I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. Tonight we go beyond the numbers to the people they represent. Women and girls in Spokane County struggling to get by.
And chances are this affects you or someone you love. Our Robin Nance is here to begin our special coverage.
For many of you, these numbers won't be surprising. The struggles of the last several years are your reality. This new report put together by the Women Helping Women Fund shines a light in the dark corners where women are more likely to be victims of domestic violence and wonder, can they get the help they need? They are hidden in plain sight all around us. Women and girls, our sisters, neighbors, and friends, suffering, often in silence. Of every 1,000 people in Spokane County, 14 have been the victims of domestic violence. That's nearly double the rate for the state of Washington. Domestic violence is just one of the issues explored in this new report on the state of women and girls in Spokane County. It covers everything from access to childcare to economic instability to how long women are expected to live based on which neighborhood in which they live. The report shows that 1 in 5 Spokane kids lived with a single mom in 2020. For every $1 earned by a two-parent household, single mothers earn just 33 cents. That means gaps. Gaps in access to health care, to food, and to the mental health help so many people need now more than ever. In 2014, 14% of Spokane County women struggled with poor mental health. In 2020, that number nearly doubled to 27%. 4 out of 10 moms with poor mental health said they did not receive the services they needed in 2020. And it's impacting our kids, too. In 2021, 29% of Spokane County teenage girls said they seriously considered suicide. These statistics can be hard to hear, but that's the point. To remind the community as a whole about those struggling all around us and spur action to help those in need access the services that are available. But as you'll hear throughout our coverage, in many cases, the disparities are generational. And sometimes just knowing you need the help is the easy part. While our coverage goes in depth on some of the issues, you can access the full report and data on KXLY.com.
Robin, thank you. Mental health challenges, alcohol, substance abuse, stress, isolation, even violence in the home. These are just some of the things that can trigger depression in women and girls.
Whether you're having just overwhelmed with stress and your anxiety is too much, or you're feeling depressed and your emotions are so strong that this is not forever.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, 27% of women struggled with mental health, while 29% of teenage girls in Spokane County have seriously considered suicide. Vanessa Perez shares the stories from 2 local women.
Well, Nicole Mills and Teresa Tipau-Hunt don't know each other, but they have a few things in common. Both women with mental health struggles. They share what's helped to get them through. Following a miscarriage 8 years ago, Tipau-Hunt was diagnosed with anxiety and put on medication.
It worked for a while until the pandemic. And just like everybody else in the country, my anxiety got worse, even with medication.
Working with a therapist, she was able to make some lifestyle changes to eating, sleeping habits, and cutting down on things she takes on.
And it's not even that it's pushed onto us by our spouses or anybody else, but we feel this internal drive to be able to do all of it.
Mills struggles with depression and suffered from suicidal thoughts as a child. While in college, she was exposed to therapy, a time she says was eye-opening. She also relies on her faith.
Understanding the love of God like in knowing that, you know, even though things happen, that he's always going to be there to kind of guide us to something better.
Women aren't the only ones struggling in our community. Teen suicidal thoughts are on the rise with pressure from social media.
Particularly impacting young girls and women because of some of the body image issues that might be associated with that, and social norms and expectations that are associated with that for young girls. Just really a lot of pressure coming from that.
Counselors say parental controls are important. It's also good to talk to your teens about suicide. Don't be afraid to reach out for help and lean on those around you.
And if we isolate ourselves because we are worried about the stigma of mental health, then we're actually hindering our ability to heal and our ability to find the tools that we need to be able to get that appropriate help that we need.
These women are just two of many in Spokane County facing mental health struggles. Now, there is help for anyone struggling with suicidal thoughts. If you're in a crisis, you can call the 24-hour regional crisis line at 1-877-266-1818 or 988. Live in studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. One thing that could be impacting your child's mental health is social media apps like Instagram and TikTok. Today, the U.S. Surgeon General released a 25-page report laying out the risks these apps can have on your children. The report links social media to things like depression, anxiety, poor sleep, and low self-esteem.
This is a real point of concern here. When nearly half of kids are telling us that social media use makes them feel worse.
The Surgeon General calling for more research into the impact of social media. He's also calling for policymakers and tech companies to take action.
This is pervasive. It is everywhere. And that's why it's so important that we support parents.
The White House says it's mobilizing an interagency task force to identify current and emerging risks. The task force will also develop guidelines for tracking and preventing those risks.
And it's not just young girls dealing with depression. We devoted a whole week to the mental health crisis involving teenage boys. To see all of our Saving Our Sons coverage, including videos on how to begin a conversation with your child that could save their life, download the KXLY Plus app.
Well, let's take a break from our State of Women and Girls coverage to take a look at your forecast.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have the possibility of a few sprinkles overnight. Then we're heading into a warmer and partly sunny Wednesday with highs in the 70s. Mountain thunderstorms still a possibility, and we're going to stay in the 70s for the weekend. Might even hit 80 degrees on Friday. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar. We are seeing some clouds streaming up from the south, and it is in that southerly flow that we have the possibility for some light precipitation overnight. Here's our forecast radar starting off at the current time, and those showers moving in right around 1 a.m. into the Spokane area and then into North Idaho through the overnight. By 8 o'clock in the morning, however, we are dry and will begin clearing out for a partly sunny day. Our temperatures right now in the 60s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We topped out in the 60s in Spokane at 70 in Grand Coulee, 73 degrees in Lewiston. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow, a high of 72. 69 is our average high with a mix of sun and clouds, more sun than clouds, but at times vice versa. I'll be back with a good look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Another major issue that could have drastic impact on a child is abuse. That includes kids who either witness violence or are victims themselves. It affects how well they do in school and can trigger depression. The report found of those who reported seeing violence at home, 18% are failing school and 65% reported feeling depressed.
What resources are available if you or someone you know is a victim of abuse? One is Vanessa Behan, a 24-hour safe place for children and parents when they need help, no questions asked. The center is named after a 2-year-old who died as a result of child abuse, and the organization has helped more than 114,000 people since its doors opened 30 years ago. I talked with the executive director and asked what would Spokane look like if the organization didn't exist. What would Spokane look like without Vanessa Behan?
That's a really, I have never been asked that question. It makes me tear up, honestly. I think we would be looking at a community where there would be more stories like Vanessa Behan. We would have more child injuries and deaths. We would have more families struggling. We would have more trauma for children growing up into a community where their needs aren't being met.
Another good resource is Sally's House, a safe haven for kids facing abuse or neglect. Sally's House offers children facing unimaginable abuse access to a bed, toys, arts and crafts, and love.
Still ahead, we're taking a look at some of the biggest financial issues facing women in Spokane County,
including the growing child care crisis.
We literally pay people in this state more money to care for our pets and cars than for our young children.
What's causing child care rates to skyrocket and why people are waiting months, even years, to get their child into a daycare. That's next on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Dishman Dodge.
At Eastern Washington University, biologists are harnessing gut microbes to build stronger bees. Entrepreneurs are learning how to innovate and become the job creators of tomorrow. And dental hygiene students are providing specialized care to ensure pregnant women from disadvantaged backgrounds and their infants stay healthy. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world? That's the New Think. Learn more at ewu.edu/newthink.
Build your deck with PAR and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
If you haven't been to the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, what's taking so long? The Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg. It's the world's greatest candy store. Come see us.
Get the biggest savings of the year on all of your top name brand stereo gear and give your vehicle better sound for summer during the amazing spring savings event at Snow's Auto.
No one beats our prices or service. I guarantee it.
You filming? Yep. Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Welcome back. We continue our State of Women and Girls coverage, looking at some of the financial issues facing families in our community.
One thing that's been an issue for decades is income inequality. Single women taking care of their families in Spokane County are at a significant disadvantage compared to married couple households. For every dollar earned by two-parent homes, single moms earned 33 cents in 2020. Black and American Indian Alaska Native single moms were less likely to have jobs that cover all the bills. The same goes with single women who don't have college degrees. And there is a crisis being felt by families across the nation. Child care has become unaffordable and inaccessible. Right now in Spokane County, there are simply not enough spots in child care centers for kids to go.
Wait lists are years long, and many say the price tag way too high. Mothers are forced to make the hard choice to put their careers aside to stay home. 4 News Now's Natalie Grant shares what experts say needs to happen to make child care affordable to everyone.
The Dobler family moved to the Spokane area 4 years ago. Alex is in the Air Force. Rachel is a nurse. They were ready to settle down. When their son Boone was born, they were excited to add to their family. But what Rachel wasn't ready for was the added burden of searching for childcare that worked with their budget and their schedules.
There is not nearly enough centers that work with other people's schedules. Not everybody works
9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it may be. We had many a conversation of, oh my gosh, am I going to have to quit my job? Am I going to have to leave the career field that I love doing, I want to continue to do, to make a smart decision for our family?
10 months later, they found their perfect fit in the form of a nanny, but understood they got lucky.
It completely stops people from, especially women, from growing and going to where they want to be and where they can go. They don't have the resources to make it happen. You can do it all if you've got the help and the resources to do it, which is really hard to come by.
Rachel is nowhere close to being alone in this situation. We put a call out to Spokane area moms to share their story, and here's a small look into what they said. Care for my child would cost more than my rent. I've contacted 10 daycares looking for an opening, but I can't find anything. There is absolutely no affordable child care for middle-class families. It would be cheaper to have the parent making less money quit their job than pay for child care. Dozens and dozens of Spokane mothers feeling stuck in a seemingly broken system. Let's break down the numbers. Right now in Spokane County, if you have one infant and one preschooler, you'll be paying on average $2,000 a month for childcare. In 1 year, that's almost $25,000. In Spokane County right now, the average salary for a woman who's working full-time is $43,000 a year, meaning she'd be allocating almost 60% of her salary straight to childcare. Ryan Preco is with Child Care Aware Washington, a nonprofit helping both families and providers. He says those high rates and long wait lists are all caused by a lack of staffing in the industry and was brought more into focus during the pandemic.
The bottom line is our child care educators rank in the 3rd percentile of all occupational wages. They rank below pet groomers and parking lot attendants. So we literally pay people in this state more money to care for our pets and cars than for our young children.
Data shows that 90% of our brain develops during those first 5 years and lays the foundation for the rest of our lives. The world has changed, and most women are no longer content with staying home full-time like they did in the past, which is why Preco says we need to shift our focus.
We need to treat child care educators the same way we treat all the rest of our educators. We need to use public dollars and just recognize that childcare is a public good. And when working parents can't access childcare, they can't work. And when they can't work, it's a drag on our economy.
And as the Doblers prepare for baby number 2, Rachel is still deciding what comes next for her career.
One of the first thoughts we had is, how are we going to do this? Is it worth it for me to work now?
Hoping for a brighter and more livable future for everyone, young and old. Reporting in Spokane, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
As Natalie just showed you, childcare is a major expense for many families, leaving a couple $100s for groceries, utilities, and rent. With rising housing costs, some families may have to start picking and choosing which bills they decide to pay. As of 2020, the median cost of rent was about $1,000, with 8 out of 10 households earning under $35,000 a year. They're spending at least 30% of their income on rent. According to the Women Helping Women Fund, about 4 in 10 women in Spokane County with kids had to double up with family and friends just to afford rent between 2015 and 2020.
Still ahead, where you live could impact how long you live. We'll tell you why and what one organization is doing to address this issue in a Spokane neighborhood coming up.
Beautiful weather today in Spokane. 68 the high, which is just about average. We did make it into the 70s in some spots, including Liberty Lake and Spokane Valley, Ritzville and Grand Coulee in the 70s as well. We're heading into the 80s in the 7-day forecast. I'll have that and your Memorial Day weekend outlook after the break.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Windsor Plywood.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
So, how's the menopause going? Unexpected rage, hot flashes, exhaustion. Big fan. Here's to being tired all day and up at night.
Said no woman ever. Estroven relieves major menopause symptoms.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
It's time for amazing spring savings to get your RV, boat, or vehicle ready for summer. This week at Snows Auto. Get the best buys of the year on all your top name brand stereo gear. Plus, get hot buys on custom rims and tire packages, summer window tints, and Bronco truck and Jeep lifts. It's the perfect time to beef up your ride and give your vehicle a fun new upgrade. This week at Snows Auto.
The main event open house is on now at R&R RV Center in North Spokane. See the top-selling motorhomes, toy haulers, fifth wheels, and travel trailers from the nation's top brands. Tour our service center, stock up in the parts department, and enjoy free barbecue on Saturday. Every RV open and marked with a low sale price. Bring your tray and check your mailbox. You may have won a new RV. The main event open house on now at R&R RV Center, 525 East Francis, North Spokane.
What's more terrifying than a killer whale out for revenge attacking sailboats? Tomorrow, the stunning video of killer whales fighting back. Shocking new information on why it's happening and what you need to know as we dive into summer. Tomorrow on GMA.
Beautiful evening in progress across the inland Northwest. Look at Coeur d'Alene, live picture there. The clouds and 67 degrees, 66 in Spokane right now. Alto Cumulus Field should be a beautiful sunset. Great night to get out and enjoy. We could have a few sprinkles overnight tonight, somewhere between about midnight and 1 a.m. Winds will be light 46 to start the day on Wednesday. Then we head up to a high of 72, just a little above average, with partly to mostly sunny skies and winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Forecast radar starting off at 6 in the morning with a few light showers possible in North Idaho. We have this unsettled weather pattern that is going to keep at least a chance of some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast each and every day, although the odds increase as we get closer to the Memorial Day weekend. Here's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and as is typically the case, the best chance to find those showers and thunderstorms will be over the higher terrain of northeast Washington and North Idaho, but they'll occasionally work their way down into the valleys. An area of low pressure, I'm going to go out 48 hours, and it's not going to move much. This upper level trough keeping those showers going. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Here we go into the afternoon. In the typical spots, we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms develop. We're going to see some moisture wrapping around this area of low pressure, giving us a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. A little bit better chance on Friday and even more on Saturday. In fact, here are the odds. These numbers are for Spokane. You take these numbers into the mountains and they're going to jump. So as you make your plans to head to the hills for some long holiday weekend fishing or camping or hiking, keep in mind that that 4 News Now First Alert weather app will be your friend. Keep an eye on the radar just in case some showers and thunderstorms head to where you are spending the weekend. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 40s and 50s. Nice crisp start to the day on Wednesday, but then we warm up to above average temperatures, lower 70s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, close to 80 in Lewiston, 77 for Omak, Grand Coulee, and Moses Lake. A little bit warmer Thursday. Friday could hit 80 degrees. A lot will depend on whether or not we see those showers in Spokane. 78 on Saturday and Sunday, and then drier weather for Memorial Day services. Should be just beautiful with clear conditions. Could hit 80 again on Tuesday. Aaron?
Looks good. Thanks, Chris. Still ahead, your zip code can have devastating consequences on how long you live. What's needed to help women in these neighborhoods? Coming up next.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history, Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts.
Finally, gardens are growing, flowers are blooming, and the Celebrate Spring event at Jacobs Custom Living continues. New furniture has arrived, and Jacobs really has the largest and most varied inventory ever. Comfortable lounge furniture, elegant outdoor dining sets, umbrellas, and much more. Take it home today if you're ready or get free storage for a limited time. Special spring clearance pricing on select items throughout the store. Come celebrate spring at Jacobs Custom Living on Sprague, just east of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
It doesn't matter how you say it, as long as you say it often. Praise your child at least 4 times for every time you correct them, and you'll be on your way to raising a confident, caring kid. 4-to-1 Praise is just one of the many parenting tools from the experts at Boys Town. Visit boystown.org/praise to receive your 10 Ways to Praise magnet. It's a great reminder to keep it positive and that helpful parenting advice is just a click away.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
High housing costs and discriminatory policies are leaving people stuck in some less desirable Spokane County neighborhoods with limited resources right now.
Well, this is impacting how long a woman is expected to live. 4 News Now's Peter Choi looks at the challenges they are facing and solutions to move forward.
Sometimes it can seem like a desert. It can only seem like there's only a few businesses in those spaces.
Helping mothers and children in the East Central neighborhood directly for years. For the Shades of Motherhood Network Executive Director Stephanie Courtney, limiting access to grocery stores and healthcare is not new news.
There's no access to just simple things when we think about food, when we think about fresh food, when we think about access to children's centers, a place where people can just come and congregate and be together.
They have become major problems for some women and children.
A single mom who gets a C-section, has no support, has a child. Her chances of infection increase because she's got to pick up the baby, move around, do all these things. There's no time for rest. There's no time for emotional support.
Local organization Women Helping Women Fund says women in the lower income and racially diverse neighborhoods like Riverside and East Central are expected to live for nearly 72 years. And it's alarming to see that living few miles south can make a difference in the average life expectancy of women. Less than a 10-minute drive and less than 5 miles away. And here in the Rockwood neighborhood, the average life expectancy is 88 years.
Lower South Hill, East Central was a disinvested neighborhood, environmental justice close to the freeway, a lot of poverty and lack of access to health care.
A Spokane City Council member who represents the East Central neighborhood believes food insecurity in the neighborhood is another factor.
We would like to make that a neighborhood where you don't have to leave it to access the services to be able to stay there. Many folks in that neighborhood have left because what they needed wasn't in the neighborhood.
Courtney says overcoming the stigma of the low-income neighborhoods and opening up more spaces for women to share resources together could be solutions.
We are asking people to rethink about what support means and make that the superpower of our community, which is support that not only stays with the person, but it gives them the ability to pour back into one another.
In Spokane County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
New at 6 o'clock, according to self-reports from women in Spokane County, in 2020, many families encountered barriers when it came to medical care. 59% of people ages 35 to 44 struggled to see a doctor when they needed one. 56% ages 18 to 34 also reported problems getting health care. Younger women and women with kids are less likely to have a personal doctor. Contributing factors included lack of health insurance coverage and extremely long waits for appointments, at times up to a year.
Lack of health insurance is especially an issue for pregnant women living in rural areas. A study from the University of Michigan found that people living in rural communities were less likely to have health insurance before, during, and after pregnancy compared to people living in bigger cities. A lack of health insurance may decrease someone's ability to receive regular prenatal and postnatal checkups, which can be critical to a woman's health. Other studies have indicated that rural residents may also receive less care because they have to travel farther.
Millions in the middle class are just one missed paycheck away from poverty. In Spokane County, families are coping with bad breaks like job loss recovery or caring for an ailing family member. 49% of single women families rely on social support. That helps provide nutritious food and other basic needs. That's compared to 38% of single men families and just 16% of married couple families. These programs are helpful, but even the slightest increase in income can mean losing more benefits than gained in income. And it's what's known as the benefit cliff. And for the last half hour, we have covered everything from teen mental health to economic barriers facing women in Spokane County.
The only reason any of these issues came to light is because of a comprehensive report commissioned by the Women Helping Women Fund. Let's bring in our KXLY Plus anchor, Rob King, for a moment. Rob, so glad you're with us. And you spoke with the organization, right? You had a conversation together with the organization's executive director, who says despite all of these issues that we've been addressing, there is a positive message here.
Yeah, I spoke with Heather Hamlin this morning. We did a live stream interview. It's available on our socials and on our website. But one of the things she touched on was she understood when I told her, I was like, Heather, this is frankly depressing. And she said there's actually a lot of good reasons why it's not all negative in this report. And we have a short clip to play for you.
What I hope is that when folks access this report and look at the data, that they see the humanized stories that are woven throughout. So sure, the data looks like it's pretty dismal in some areas, but in the full report, we also look at the bright spots in our communities. Those providers that are going...
And Rob, she just mentioned bright spots in the community. What are those?
So there's actually a lot more nonprofits in our community doing really positive work than even us that have, our ear to the ground even know about. So one of the things that the Women Helping Women Fund does is pick those nonprofits and say, this report shows us there's an increase of domestic violence. Let's be funding more domestic violence nonprofits. And now it's about getting the education out to the women and children that these resources are available to them.
And so, I mean, you're kind of touching on it right here, but why is it so important to identify these issues?
One of the things that Heather said during the live stream that I really liked was, if you can name it, you can tame it. So by identifying these are issues, we now know where to put the funding, what to tackle, and how to get the community to move forward from here.
It's so important, and I think it's touched a lot of people in this newsroom since the Women Helping Women Fund gave this report, and of course Chris Crocker was MC, and it was just an important topic for so many of us. So thank you, Rob, for continuing to bring these issues to light.
Of course, I'm happy to do it, and you can watch the full live stream interview on KXLY.com and KXLY Plus for your connected TVs. That's Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku.
Rob, thank you. Our State of Women and Girls coverage doesn't end here. On KXLY.com, we have the link to the full report and a link to an interactive dashboard.
And there you can also find links on how to get involved to help be part of the solution. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
I feel like I'm at the law offices of Heap, Pile, and Hoarder.
Yeah, we just started a huge case.
Is it a class action suit against filing cabinets?
And we've made some cutbacks. I didn't want to tell you because, well, I was afraid STCU would stop lending to us.
Can I be frank with you? The more transparent you are with us, the better we can restructure loans in your favor. It's like the more real you are with your therapist, the quicker they can help you get over your chickophobia.
Hey, a lot of people are afraid of chewing gum.
STCU Business. Partner up.
The Memorial Day savings are on now through this Monday at all Walker's Furniture stores, where you can save more and get more, or take advantage of 5 years no-interest financing with no minimum purchase and no money down.
Today through this Monday at Walker's.
It's time to beef up your ride and get dialed in for summer during the amazing spring savings event this week at Snows Auto. Get your window tints now before the summer rush hits from the pros at Snows Auto.
Are you filming?
Yep.
That's a good one. You kind of have to be able to see my feet. I'll post it.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
And I'll put my weight on the back, especially on my outside foot.
Balance is key.
So is stick work. Mom, I'll be out front. You should switch to sledding.
They should switch to being helpful. No blocking. Good idea.
Keep your eyes up, man.
Try to keep the control on your weight going forward. Weight open.
Nice snap.
A little tap, tap. Get that power.
That's his pant on.
Come on, hustle back. Hustle back. Come here. You go out. Next step. Set it. Go. Come here. Come on. Come on.
In the University of Idaho student murders, the families of Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogen are reserving the right to sue over the deaths of their children.
According to ABC News, they have filed a motion that would allow them to sue the city of Moscow for damages, as well as Idaho State Patrol, U of I, and the University of Washington.
Safeguard to protect the interests of the families, the victims, and really the whole community and around, because if something goes wrong or was done improperly, then someone is held accountable for that.
The murder suspect, Brian Kohberger, was arraigned yesterday. He elected to not enter a plea, and the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. A 6-week trial was scheduled for October 2nd.
Live look over downtown Spokane right now. Beautiful evening in progress. Temperatures in the 60s, generally light winds. Our air quality is in good shape. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We are going to see the clouds increasing overnight with the possibility of a few sprinkles just after midnight. It's going to be a warmer day on Wednesday, highs in the 70s with the possibility of some mountain thunderstorms. We're going to stay in the 70s for Memorial Day weekend. Here's a look at our forecast radar. Current time, we are dry around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and then those clouds start moving in. Here's 1 a.m. with just a few isolated sprinkles. Then into North Idaho, we see a few showers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Things have dried out. Temperatures right now are in the 60s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, as well as Sandpoint, Pullman, Ritzville, 69 degrees. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow. Our average high is in the upper 60s. We're heading up to 62 with a mix of sun and clouds, more sun than clouds for the most part. I will be back with your Memorial Day weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
And new at 6:30, students at Timberlake High School in Spirit Lake joined forces with first responders to train in a mock DUI crash. We do want to warn you, this new video shows realistic looking injuries, but everything you're about to see is staged. These Timberlake seniors used prosthetic makeup, fake blood, and torn clothing to create the illusion of a violent wreck caused by a drunk driver. These mock crashes serve a couple of purposes. They show students the potential impacts of getting behind the wheel after drinking, and they also provide first responders the opportunity to train for mass casualty and major injury crashes. Schaefer's Towing donated the cars that were used in this exercise at Timberlake. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says they have seen an increase in abandoned or false 911 calls, which takes time away from operators dealing with real emergencies.
Sheriff's Office tells us a single phone at a theme park made 50 calls to 911. They think the reason for so many calls from one person was because newer phones and smartwatches are equipped to automatically call 911 if it believes someone fell or was in an accident.
Well, the Washington Health Department is investigating cases of salmonella likely linked to raw cookie dough from multiple Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza locations across the state. One case is from Spokane County. 4 of the 6 people who have gotten sick so far report eating the raw cookie dough products from the pizzeria chain, which is meant to be cooked before eating. Papa Murphy's has discontinued selling the raw cookie dough products at this time.
All day, Mark Peterson and the Extreme team have been hard at work sprucing up a baseball field in Rathdrum.
And today was all about putting out more dirt and working on the dugouts. Let's send it over to Mark to look at their progress and what still needs to be done.
2 big projects happening here onto the east side of the park, and that is the removal of this. It's an old basketball court that has been dilapidated and it was shrinking and sinking in the middle. It is Winkler Contractor, Winkler Concrete Contracting. Yeah, Brian Winkler, he's the owner. Brian is the operator, and we're going to get this loaded, get it out of here. They've got a grant to build a new one, just not the money to take it out. That's one of the 2 big projects. The other one, well, take it there. So then the next big project is this, the concession stand. The T111 and the siding, it's aged, it's starting to crack. It's going to need repeated painting and or replacement. Well, Merrimack Metals gave us the whole kit. Eric Singer is there. He's not only helping us, but he's the director of parks here in Rathdrum. And he and others are going to be putting that siding up. Just one of the many things we're doing to expand what started out to be a baseball field. In Rathdrum, I'm Mark Peterson with the Diamonds and Dreams Extreme team.
Oh, did I?
Oh, did it?
We have the latest coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
There are a lot of ways to deal with a stubborn drain. Call us at Mainstream Plumbing. Our high-definition LED camera can go where no plumber's gone before, deep inside your sewer lines to find the root of the problem. Call 866-411-ZAP.
This may sound strange, but you've been here before. You were here when this wrench was turned, and when this line was drawn. Oh, and when this stitch was sewn. Because you inspired the Lexus ES to be, well, more you. So thank you. We hope you like your work.
Everybody plays a fool. Tell him, Judge Harvey. We want money. No exception. You lost this when she started talking.
Judge Steve Harvey. New tonight on ABC.
No matter where you are in your financial journey, we're here to help you along the way. Open a free Ascend checking account and you can earn 3.50% APY on balances up to $15,000 with no minimum balance required. Bring your finances to new heights with our checking that pays you dividends. Get your account today at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight, that's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without
Oh,
I know it!
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is entertainment.
Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Starting off our forecast focus, far from home, but I know with the big Air Force presence in the Spokane area, many of you may have called Guam home at Andersen Air Force Base, U.S. territory, being impacted by what was a super typhoon. It has been downgraded to a typhoon that may be temporary, but Guam is right here, and here is the typhoon that is at times packing winds up to 155 miles per hour, is expected to batter Guam with storm surge, high winds, and flooding rain over the next 24 hours. We'll be tracking this typhoon very closely over the next 24 hours, again, impacting Guam. We have a chance of showers in Spokane. Overnight, a few sprinkles. Tomorrow, just a 10% chance of rain. Goes up to 20 on Thursday, 30 on Friday, and 40 on Saturday, heading into the holiday weekend. Some showers and thunderstorms with a better chance over the mountains. Here's what's going on. An area of low pressure is going to be with us for the next several days. That is going to be bringing in some moisture from the Pacific, wrapping around that area of low pressure and bringing it into the mountain areas. In the instability of the day, we'll get the showers and thunderstorms. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with most of the wet weather well to our east. However, as we get into the afternoon, get that convection going, there should be plenty of moisture to see some mountain showers tomorrow. A little bit better chance to see the showers and thunderstorms down in the valleys as we get into Thursday. And we're just going to keep rotating that instability and that moisture around that area of low pressure right on through at least the first part of the weekend. Looks like our one dry day might be a Memorial Day itself. Here's a look at our forecast radar for Wednesday, starting off at 6 a.m. with a few sprinkles in North Idaho. As we get into the morning, we clear out, should see some sunshine, then once again, afternoon convection over the northeast mountains, North Idaho, and into the east slopes of the Cascades. Your planning forecast, it is going to be warmer tomorrow, a high of 72, 74 on Thursday. We may hit 80 degrees on Friday before we cool back down into the 70s. These temperatures are still almost 10 degrees above average. Memorial Day itself may be the nicest day of the 7-day forecast. 80 and partly cloudy on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Gardner's overnight lows through the 7-day forecast will be in the 50s. Tonight will be the one exception, mid-40s. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Well, summer is fast approaching, so is summer camp. If you or someone you know needs a summer job, Campfire Inland Northwest is hiring. Both camps, one in North Spokane and one in Lake Coeur d'Alene, are booked with campers starting their sessions in June.
I had no idea what I wanted to do in life as a career, and I only knew that I wanted to work with kids. And so I thought to go back to summer camp, and I got to go back and make a difference in the community, for the kids in the area, and also a huge difference in my own life as well.
Campfire Inland Northwest is conducting interviews right now for counselor positions, lifeguards, kitchen staff, and much more. For more information on the camps, and if you want an interview for a summer job, see this story on KXLY.com.
Well, get ready to pay for your own Netflix accounts because the company has started cracking down on password sharing. In a letter to subscribers Tuesday, the streaming service offers two alternatives. They can transfer a profile to a new member and pay for that person, or add an extra member for about $8 a month. Netflix says it allowed password sharing in the past to fuel growth, and that led to some 100 million households doing so. Now it wants to focus on its revenue as opposed to its subscriber base.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
My dad has dementia, Alzheimer's. The major issue that we face as a multi-generation family is what is the care for the caregivers? Especially for the younger generation, Walk Cares will provide peace of mind that when you need some time off to take care of yourself while taking care of the family, for people of color, for minority communities who are already shy of asking for help. When they need it, it's out there, it's available, and it's easy to go ask for help.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
It's the Walker's Furniture and Mattress Holiday Sale, where you can save more and get more on the new Serta iComfort Eco and Beautyrest Black Hybrid mattresses. Or get special 5 years no-interest financing with no money down, including big savings on Purple. And get more, like up to $300 in free furniture and a $100 gift card with purchase.
Today through this Monday at Walker's.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move.
Let's go! With everyone getting ready for summer and a new gym opening soon in Spokane, there's never been a better time to join.
They say there's nothing quite like the open road. I say there's nothing quite like the open road when you're driving a new Toyota from Findlay. And right now is the perfect time to trade up to a new RAV4, Toyota Camry, Corolla, or maybe a Tacoma or Tundra truck. Plus, Findlay Downtown Toyota has the financing you need to get you behind the wheel today, so you can start your driving adventures tomorrow.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
Adventure, culture, and fine wine await you in the Lewis-Clark Valley, less than 2 hours south of Spokane. Tour some of the world's most spectacular wilderness, beauty, and wildlife in Hell's Canyon. Experience the region's rich and diverse culture and history. Savor award-winning Lewis-Clark Valley wines and delicious culinary creations from a variety of local wineries and fine dining establishments. Go to visitlewisclarkvalley.com and plan your destination getaway today.
4 News Now is brought to you by McVay Brothers.
Well, one of the Seattle Seahawks' best players will be out for a significant. On top of leading the league in interceptions, Woolen was top 5 in the league in pass deflections, and he was also tied for 23rd in tackles last season. The Seahawks will be missing a key player for this offseason. Now, Idaho football is number 7 in Athlon Sports preseason top 25. Last season, the Vandals made the playoffs for the first time since 1995. They will be led by quarterback Giovanni McCoy, who won the 2022 Jerry Rice Award as the FCS Freshman of the Year. The Vandals open the season August 31st at Lamar. Washington State men's basketball will be one of 4 teams competing in the Hall of Fame tip-off tournament next season. The tournament will take place November 18th and 19th at Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Northwestern, Rhode Island, and Mississippi State are the other teams participating in the event. Now, fans at Avista Stadium were treated to 2 baseball games today. The Spokane Indians played a doubleheader against the Vancouver Canadians. Now, it was a makeup game from last month when it was postponed due to weather. We start with the first game of the doubleheader. This one was already scheduled for today. Keegan James gets out of a jam with a strikeout as the Indians go to the final inning trailing by a run. Yanquiel Fernandez has a chance to tie this game, but he grounds out to second base as the Indians, they fall in game 1. 5-4 is the final. Now, game 2 was the makeup game from last month when it was rained out. We pick it up there. It was supposed to be played in Vancouver, so the Canadians were technically the home team in this game, even though it was played in Spokane. We go to the second inning, no score, but that's until Alex DeJesus gets a hold of that baseball. Vancouver strikes first on the home run as Spokane falls behind 1-0. We go to the 5th. Jordan Beck, he's been one of the top prospects in Spokane, and Beck delivers again with a huge hit to tie the game. But this day belonged to Vancouver as the Indians fall 6-4. Vancouver takes both games in today's doubleheader. The Indians and Canadians are back at it for another game at 6:35 tomorrow night at Avista Stadium. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. Tens of millions of Americans are expected to travel on Memorial Day weekend. Air travel alone could exceed 2019 travel numbers. And AAA says this Memorial Day weekend could be the busiest at airports since 2005. The U.S. Transportation Secretary says even though this weekend will be a test of the system, he's confident airlines will be prepared, saying the department is collaborating with airlines to reduce congestion and improve customer service.
cancellation and delay rates were at unacceptable proportions last year, and it's important that that not happen again.
While most travelers will be driving to their destinations, car travel is still expected to be down slightly from before the pandemic, with gas prices higher than 2019 levels, but still lower now than this time last year.
Lawmakers and food safety advocates are pushing for changes to the food expiration date system, as there are no federal standards for sell by, use by, or best by dates. Advocates say more realistic date labeling would help cut down on the massive amount of food wasted every day.
Many of us look at the date labels on food products and we instantly get confused. More often than not, we throw it away because we fear we might get sick.
You're telling me that a recently purchased rice or a bag of pretzels is dangerous to consume on that shelf date? Or how about your salt and pepper? You got to throw out the salt and pepper because suddenly someone came up with a random date on that?
The FDA says you should not rely solely on date labels, and you should examine your food even after the expiration date. A bipartisan effort is asking the FDA to standardize expiration date terminology across the country.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
The volunteer cop swarmed by bees breaks his silence. Next, Inside Edition, exclusive. He was attacked on live TV. The bees took him down. What he's saying today about the swarm onslaught the whole world watched. Then, inside the secret world of sorority rushes from the new documentary.
Are you kidding me right now?
Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
The Memorial Day savings are on now, this week at Walker's Furniture, with big holiday discounts on all your favorite brands, where you can save more and get more for your home, or take advantage of 5 years no-interest financing with no minimum purchase and no down payment required.
Beautiful new bedroom sets, stylish new sectionals, and quality new dining sets all on sale.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law.
Where real people
with real injuries
get real results.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Get real results.
Get Russell & Hill.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart.
Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him.
Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Beautiful Wednesday. Our chance of precipitation increases as we get into the weekend, as does our temperatures. Temperatures above average through the 7-day outlook.
I'm digging this weather. It's nice today.
Yeah, well, 72 and 74 can't beat that.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.